is the right thing to do. There's a moral obligation to take child migrants who have arrived in Britain in often desperate circumstances. Remember, some of them won't have two parents who are alive. The question, of course, is will central government give local authorities the money they need to do this effectively? Children are going to be spread out around the country, presumably in a lot of cases with their family. So councils of all political stripes will need funding to be able to support that. So will they get the funding?
There'll be people watching this, rightly or wrongly, that'll push back and go, hold on a second. How do we know what is a child? Of course, a child to us is under the age of 18 years of age, but these are people that are coming over that have got no identification, no documents whatsoever. So it's very hard, actually, to distinguish who is a child and who isn't. So that is my first point of call. How do we even enforce this?
Well, my worry is a bit that you started perhaps on what might be the grey areas or the loopholes. For example, a 5-year-old or a baby is quite obviously a child. Your point is that there's perhaps between people aged, 15 and 20, their age is uncertain if they haven't got documentation, but that's only going to apply in a smaller proportion of cases. But that's
Do you think the larger proportion of cases is children circa 5 years of age coming over on their own?
Well, I've no idea, but clearly I don't think 5-year-olds get on a boat on their own. That would be a ludicrous suggestion. But your point was you believe there's a risk the system will be gamed right, and I'm trying to put that in proportion.
So, Joanna, you actually live, I hear a whisper, that you live in Kent, an area that's very affected by this. What's it like down there?
Well, I live in Canterbury, and there clearly are child migrants who do live in Canterbury, and I've got to know personally a number of boys who've come over to the UK all the way from Sudan. And I think you're right, you know, they're not 5-year-olds or babies. Most of the child migrants I know in Canterbury are 14, 15, going up to 16, 17-year-old young Sudanese teenage boys. And some of them have truly heart-rendering stories, it has to be said, about the experiences that they've been through both in Sudan, in war-torn countries, and the journey getting over here. It seems to me really the issue here is yes, we do have to disperse people around the country. We do have to disperse children. I think it's good that the government is now forcing councils to take children, because before there was this kind of horrible bidding process where you'd get the poorest areas of the country almost bidding to take child migrants in order to get the money, and that meant that already deprived places were then being further burdened by needing to take on extra children, whereas relatively rich places weren't taking their fair share of responsibility. But to me, the bigger problem is not to punish people who are already here, but actually to stop the whole trade in people trafficking, the actual promotion of people from coming all the way from Sudan to the UK. You know, you need safe routes for people to apply for asylum before they feel the need to get in a boat to cross the channel, before they get to the UK. And I think that's what we need to stop, to disincentivise this trade, this flow of people, rather than actually penalising children once they are here in the UK.
Nigel, your thoughts on this? Because I do think anyone with a heart, of which I assume that is most of the population, would sit there and say, if there is a child, I'm a mum myself, and if there is a child, you absolutely would want that child to be cared for, safe and well. But what about, aren't we at danger of encouraging more crossings by these kind of policies? Shouldn't we be more focused on how on earth do we stop these people crossing in the first place? Because it's a very dangerous crossing, so shouldn't that be more the focus?
Well, of course it should. I mean, we should find a way of stopping them crossing, but no one has come up with a way at the moment. We know the various mistakes that were made previously, that after Brexit we didn't do the deals with individual countries, which meant that an asylum seeker would have to apply for asylum in the first safe country they came to. So that went out the window and encouraged the people traffickers to get people across the channel. We don't speed up the asylum process as much as we should to actually process them very quickly. And the final thing here is we're talking about unaccompanied children. And I think we're in a completely different ballgame when it comes to them, that when they arrive on our shores, we have a duty to look after them as best we can. It can't be Kent's job. Kent has taken 400 children in, and that's twice as many as the maximum recommended. Other councils should step up to the plate. And when it comes down to the kind of resources you need, £143 from the government won't cut it if you're dealing with a vulnerable child who may have seen absolutely horrific things. I know of one case where one child needed 16 social workers to actually try and sort them out because of the ordeal they'd been through in their own country. So it's important that every local council steps up to the plate. It's important that the appropriate funding comes from central government so it doesn't cost the local taxpayer extra money. And when it comes to unaccompanied children, they must take priority over everything else.
Yeah, I mean, I have to say, I'm looking, the emails are flying in. Linda is saying, please tell Peter it's not our duty or obligation to look after these child migrants. What she's saying is that no one is making anyone get into a dinghy. She's also asked me to tell you that they're not fleeing a war zone. They're coming from France, which is a safe country. And I do kind of...
Well, they're coming from Sudan. Sorry for interrupting.
Well, they're coming from France, aren't they? They're crossing the Channel from France.
That's not their country of origin. They're clearly not escaping the terrors of Toulouse or Paris, are they? They're coming from Sudan in some cases, which is absolutely war-torn and has been separated into two different countries.
Yeah, but people were pushing, and I'm representing the viewers' comments here, because these comments are flying in. What they're saying is they're coming from a safe country. That might not be their original point of origin, but they're coming across the Channel from a safe country.
But that's why
should we dump it all on France, then?
The deals with those countries, it's the responsibility of the country where they first landed to look after them. That is not happening. So they're arriving on our shores. Therefore, we have no alternative. It shouldn't be our duty to deal with this, but we have no alternative but to do it because they are vulnerable, unaccompanied children.